At the beginning of the season, we talked to our team about, having your focus being on the process and just focusing every week just to get better and better every single week. And so far this indoor season, I think we've been able to do that, and that happened again this weekend up at Wisconsin. Our throws crew had an awesome weekend. Coach O'Mara's done a really terrific job with them. Jamie Lindstrom, senior for us, she threw over 52 feet in the shot put, actually puts her in the top 30 in the NCAA right now, second all-time at UNI, and more importantly, puts her second right now ranked in the conference standings heading into this weekend. Chloe Schmidt had a great weekend. She's now sixth all-time in the weight throw for us. And then Shaylee Rath in the high jump, she was kind of beat up with some injuries earlier this year, has really stayed dialed in. Just opened up a couple weekends ago in Nebraska. She jumped 5'9" in the high jump this weekend, puts her on top of the conference right now heading into this weekend. And so just moving people in to better scoring position and getting our team stronger heading in is really important. The men's side, Brad Walski had a huge PR in the weight throw. He is now ranked sixth all-time at UNI, and more importantly moved up in the rankings for conference. And then in the hurdles and the sprints, Doris Fountain, who you guys all know is a starting wide receiver for the football team, ran 8 flat in the 60-meter hurdles, ranks him fourth all-time at UNI, sits fourth in the conference. And then what's fun is with football guys, they kind of keep track of where they're at in the country with other football guys that run track, and Doris is now ranked third in the country for guys who play football and then come and run track. So that's pretty exciting. We're fortunate to have him doing both sports. Brandon Carnes had another good weekend. He ran 6.68 in the 60-meter dash, which is his second best performance of his life, which is great heading into the conference championships. So right now it's going to be a dogfight this weekend in the Dome, and so there's about 10 points separating on paper. I always like to say on paper because the meet's not held on paper. It's held on the track in the Dome every single year, and so we're going to come in fighting. We're going to come in really excited to compete on our home track. And to help kind of fuel the fire, we're actually having an alumni reunion as well this weekend. And so far we have about 140 people that have RSVP'd to come back for that. And so it's going to be exciting to get all those alums back in the Dome and be around the track and kind of get a chance to be around our team. And so we're just looking forward to this weekend, and we'll be fighting it out. Any questions for track and field?
How great is it when you have the UNI-Dome that you have a facility where you can host the conference championships and get all these teams in, and obviously for your own team, and maybe a little bit of a home track advantage?
Definitely. We love it because our kids can sleep in their own beds. They can continue to go to class. Their routine and their rhythm is very similar to what they do on a daily basis. And so getting a chance to do that is definitely an advantage for our team.
Are both teams going into this healthy, men and women, or do you have some people that won't be able to participate?
No, we've done a really good job. Our coaches have done great. Melissa Stuvey, our head athletic trainer, she's done a terrific job. We're about as healthy as we've been all year, which is a great thing to say at this point in the season.
When you look at the team race, who are the ones that are going to be battling to win this thing?
I think Wichita State on paper is probably going to be favored on both ends, and then after that, it can go either way. I mean, you can look at teams, 10 points can separate a second place team all the way to seventh place in the standings. And so it's going to be one of those weekends where, if you can scrap and keep scrapping and getting a point here, 2 points there, not only do you gain a point, but you displace other people's points. And so it could be the battle of the 8th place finishes on what really makes the big difference for the meet.
Also, in competition, a lot of times home arena, hometown fans can help. Is that a big deal with track and field to have a big hometown following in there cheering on your team, or is it neutralized a little bit?
It can definitely. It's a definite advantage for us because you can only travel so many kids when you go to an away meet, and so having the chance for our entire team to be there, we have about 100 athletes combined, and we only compete about 64 as our roster limitations, 32 per gender, and so you get those extra 40 athletes out there cheering for you. The families are close by. We're predominantly Iowa kids, and so it's not too far to get to Cedar Falls. Then you throw in the fact we're having our alums come back, and just the familiarity with the Dome and the runways and the track and the setup. Everyone's really familiar with that, and that definitely helps us out.
And also, like any of your relays or anything, will you stack some of them up maybe a little different than what you've showed so far in the season, or do you pretty much go with the 4x2 and the relay lineups that you've used all year?
We stick pretty much to to what we've done so far because that's how we've been successful. But if someone's got a hot hand and someone might not be looking the best, we definitely make changes kind of on the fly, especially if there's any injuries or, some athletes are loaded up a lot. And by the time the 4x4s roll around the last meet of the meet, it's a little bit of carnage on the track with who's fresh enough to keep going. But we'll definitely be going after those relays pretty hard. All right. Nothing else then. Go Panthers.